Hello everyone and welcome to this amazing section. So we have Kemi and we have Mona. So but before we let them talk, I'd like Kemi tell us her own journey and how it has been for her.
Okay, so my journey with Wild Braids started while I was working full time. I used to work in technology. I still sometimes dabble. I'm in an advisory capacity, but I would say that it really just came out of looking at what is it that we can do in Nigeria to be more productive, to create opportunities for people to be productive. My path is different from most businesses because from day one as a tech professional, I started to think, how can we scale with technology? Really, how do we, use what little resources we have to achieve our goals? So one of our goals was we wanted to create a great product, and we wanted to be able to scale our supply chain quickly and keep the quality of the product consistent. And so we needed to sort of develop that to like a science that literally you bottle it up and you take it from location A to B and say this is the template for doing this. To achieve that, we're making videos, we're using social media. Like I have videos hosted somewhere I can send to my suppliers and say, go watch this, and on how to make our products. Even in terms of the sales side, social media is our biggest sales channel right now. So Facebook, both for B2B sales and for individual retail sales. We reach out to businesses on Facebook. We reach out to customers. Customers find us and reach out to us. Instagram is also.
And they are paying clients.
They're paying. Everybody's a paying client. We don't do credit. It's not free. People pay, and they actually look to your social media. Even when you find them offline, they look to your social media to try to evaluate, what kind of business are you. So they go and check out your page and like, oh, okay, you have this many followers, and I like the theme of your page. Another thing that was really important for me was that we could use tools to really bring down our costs, right? Okay. So we didn't have a huge budget. I knew that we needed to do a lot around inventory. We needed to do a lot around marketing, sales, and trying to do this and knowing that I could only afford about 3 people at that time. Well, unless these people are going to just die of overwork, we need to kind of take that load off. And so the first thing was to put our store on a platform that has a lot of support and a lot of applications that help you extend the functionality. Also, to use tech to basically manage inventory. So at any point in time, whether I'm here or outside of the country, I know how much we have in stock. I know what's running out. I can place orders remotely. I can fulfill orders remotely. Finding the right partners, like logistics partners that can be as proactive as we needed them to be. So I needed to be able to track packages when they're on the way, because I'm in e-commerce. I want to be able to track packages when they're on their way. I want to know when someone has delivered. I wanted to be able to see my business end to end from wherever I am, because I have to move around quite a bit, and it was important that we could do that. So I would say the challenges that we faced are the challenges any business would face, which is how do you meet your customers where they are? Whether you're a bank or whether you're a telco, you really don't want everybody coming to your office to do whatever it is that they need to do with your business. You want them to be able to get to you remotely wherever they are. Social media has been great for that. And then also, how do you just optimize your operations so that your overheads are lower? How do you scale with technology? And I would say starting a business in this era, the edge that we have, or the edge I feel I had, was I have a tech background. And so it came naturally. I didn't need a consultant to tell me this is what you have to do. I could kind of just go there with it. And it also gives an edge because most of my competition isn't leveraging all these tools.
Technology.
As much as I would say we are. So it definitely gives an edge in terms of starting and sustaining a business.
Okay. Now, Muna, this is like we said, we're in an era where technology finally rules,
Yes.
and most of your startups are jumping in with the aid of technology. What would you say is your own normal? What would be your own insights and your own solutions to most of the startups that are living in this era, driven by tech?
I would focus more on people that are about to start, because if you're already leading, that means you've gotten something right.
Okay.
So if you're about to start and you're looking like a Wild Braids or a Gazelle Academy or any other organization that is already out there, what I would say is find the technology that works for you, because it can be quite daunting.
Yeah.
She's in tech, so she knows what I'm saying. You have a lot of platforms, but you have to find the one that works for you and conquer that one first. For us, 90% of our students that we got in Gazelle Academy was through Facebook.
Okay.
We leveraged Facebook. We had about 25,000 fans plus on Facebook. We did everything on Facebook, our videos, everything. We used Facebook until we started hearing Instagram, and then we slowly, we didn't actually jump. We had to study. For me, and that's the advice I give everybody: don't just jump.
Okay.
Everything has a science to it. Instagram does not function the same way as Facebook does. You have to learn the language of Instagram. You have to learn what works. Hashtags work a lot with Instagram. The way you even put your profile is a big bonus. But we had to actually go through some e-courses to understand how Instagram works so that we can get the results that we wanted from it. We had to understand the apps that want, like the repost, the rebrand, all those things. You need to understand these. You don't just jump into something because you see people doing it, which is the weakness of millennials today. Because it's working, because I see that there's a Bella Niger, or there's a Linda Ikeji, or there's
Nicola and Giovanni.
Yes, Nicola and Giovanni. Because he's doing it, you think it's great, or maybe Wild Braid, something so simple, that everybody does. You just jump and you start doing it. No.
But if you ask me, let's be very real.
Yes.
People have gotten numbers on social media.
We're not saying they haven't gotten numbers. We have gotten numbers. But the day we tried Instagram alone, we didn't get any numbers because we didn't understand how it works.
Nice. Okay.
So sometimes it's based on luck. Then the day I used Twitter to promote an event, I got 100 retweets. And I was like, how? Do you understand? So what works? There are different audiences for different platforms. Mm-hmm. So you have to know what you're selling where. LinkedIn has a totally different audience. Mm-hmm. So does Twitter, so does Instagram, and so does Facebook. You have to know which one works for you. I just got on Telegram and Periscope, and someone said, "Oh, Muna, finally you're here." I said, I'm here for a reason, because my book club, I want to be able to host and talk to a lot of people at the same time without having to be on the closed Facebook group or on the WhatsApp group. And Periscope on Telegram would offer me that platform.
Audience, yeah.
That's why I joined it, not because everybody is joining it. I had a reason. It was going to meet an end for my business, and that's why I started it. But what you find that everybody's on all platforms, someone might be on all platforms, and they get confused, they scatter their resources everywhere, and at the end of the day, they get discouraged because nothing works. But if you're able to bring everything together, consolidate it, find 1 or 2 channels, focus on those channels and bombard it with everything that is you and your business, then you'll see that chances are that you will make it.
Okay, that sounds good. Now this is me rounding off. I had to bring up the issue of numbers because we're in an era where influence is measured with numbers in this era, and like Kemi is going into a path which she finally created her own model, completely new model, and several people will still go into that new model, creating their own model. What would you think? What do we think? Most banks, most high institutions, most people that want to deal with this generation of people who are like, the buying population of this era are those that live online. And it doesn't mean that the other parts of the population that are not online don't exist or are not relevant, but somehow this is the trend. Now, you both are key stakeholders in this era. And interestingly, why we had you was, yes, I'm the only male here, and and whether we like it or not, the world is ruled by, who says men rule the world? It's not true. Let me be safe here. Now, what would be your own final insight to the female entrepreneur, the female change maker that wants to thrive in this era, which obviously has no model compared to what they finally read in business school or every other person? What's your own final shot?
Okay, my final take to female entrepreneurs would be the odds are in your favor. For once in history, for the first time in history, the odds are actually in the favor of female entrepreneurs, because the kinds of businesses you start now do not require heavy lifting, like literally, and you don't have to carry bricks. And so if it's stuff you have to do with your mind, well, your mind is as good as any. Also, I would say that approach it as a business. I think what some female entrepreneurs do, it is almost like a hobby, like it's the least important thing in their life. Whereas men typically put their careers as the most important thing in their life, and they see more results there, But women kind of say, look, after I do everything else, after I tend to my family, I'm not saying don't tend to your family, but I'm saying prioritize it and invest in it as a priority and think big. Like, some people say, oh, I don't want to do because I don't want to, have too much going on that I no longer fit within my, community or who I am right now. I don't want to move out of where I live because if I have too much money, I will do that. I'm like, so what's the point to starting something? But I think women can think a lot bigger. Don't feel at a disadvantage because the odds are actually in your favor. There's a lot of incentives for women that want to go into stuff. People are willing to partner with you. People are willing to tell your story. And you actually are in a position to inspire others. So if you're not even doing it just for yourself, do it for the people that would gain from your story if you did do it.
Okay, cool. Mana?
What I would say is to trust the process. And by this, I mean to trust yourself. Trust whatever it is that you're going through. Trust the ideas that you have. They are big enough. Don't worry if it doesn't look as big as the next person's idea. Whatever it is that you've been given, whatever it is that you want to run with, whatever business idea you have, it could become the next Facebook. It could become the next big thing. Trust it and stay on your lane. Don't run from one lane to the other because you see that Wild Braids is working. That's what you want to do today. Because you see that skill acquisition is giving so many people so many people money. You now want to set up your own skill acquisition center because you feel that's where the money is. Don't do that. Stay on your lane. Focus on what you're supposed to do. Trust yourself that you have the ability, the capacity, and the capability to build a new brand. Even if it's, no matter what it is, in whatever field, tissue paper, soap making, perfume making, don't look at it like it's something that would not work because you've not created a brand or because there's a giant in the industry. Don't worry about them. Just focus and do your thing. And please, there's nothing like Cinderella syndrome. No man will come to rescue you. No man will come to get you to do it. You have to decide on your own as a woman that you want this. It's a choice, personal choice. If she didn't get up, she wouldn't have what she has. If I didn't get up, I wouldn't be where I am. So you need to know that you have to help yourself first before anyone anyone can help you.
Okay, I think that's fair enough. A guy didn't say it, lady said that. So thank you, Kemi, for coming.
Thanks a lot for having me.
Thank you for
It's
sharing
great.
your time there. Thank you, Mona.
You're
And
most
thank you, our audience. In a nutshell, we'll see at the end of the day, we're all work in progress. So whatever you do, try your own little bit to break your own coconut. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.